This movie would have represented my VE trip. It was everything. I should have sat in one chair with her in the airplane. At least I was able to walk next to her and then do a little bit of talking. But I couldn't sometimes. I was almost close to getting her until someone else took her away from me. And that's why this movie was able to relate myself with my VE trip. It was everything. I was gonna talk with her. I wanted to spend some time with her. But I couldn't. And then, now what happens? The result? She got taken by someone else. But I was so close to getting her.
Just get to the review already, Juna.
But this movie is relatable to my life.
Well, let's not forget she made an appearance for your review on Spider-Verse in the intro, remember?
Oh yeah, right. We did that. Well, I guess we can review this movie now.
Why don't you give me your love?
Spider-Man Far From Home is a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, and it takes place after Avengers Endgame, and this movie is once again directed by Jon Watts. The film takes place after Endgame, where Peter Parker mourns for the death of, well, you already know who it is. And then Peter Parker decides to go on a vacation trip along with his friend. But along the way comes some many things that are taking over the world. There were these elementals that are trying to destroy Europe, and now he's being recruited by Nick Fury and then teams up with Mysterio in order to stop evil. Well, that's pretty much the plot. That's pretty much the cover, the back section of the DVD, but the inside is probably different. Now, knowing that Spider-Man Far From Home will get an early release, will be released on July 2nd, I still get a Wednesday release for this film. And I got this information exactly on the day I was gonna date her, but then she got taken. No joke. However, knowing that Far From Home comes out 12 hours after my friend watched this movie, I woke up and I was like, okay, Far From Home is out. I'm gonna go walk in the theaters along with my old friend and watch this movie. But really, there's everything that really relates to me when it comes to Far From Home. For this review, I want to bring a little bit about myself, about my VE trip. As you all know, I went to New York. Maybe some of you did not know, but during my time in New York, I did had some great things. This movie was so close to bringing that, to portraying my New York trip, of how I wanted to be with the girl I really like, and then suddenly she got taken. However, this movie goes in the positive mode. What I receive is more of a bad choice, which is really a shame. But however, this movie has many things to be discussed in this movie. Now, this movie is very different. Unlike the first film, this movie takes place outside of Europe, which is a good thing because we've never seen Spider-Man fighting outside of New York except for the Avengers movies. We've seen him in Avengers Infinity War when he accidentally fly to space, and then returning again to Avengers Endgame to the final battle in the Avengers HQ. However, this time Far From Home, this one is really different. It tries to bring Peter Parker. Peter Parker wants to enjoy a regular life, trying to, hang out with his friends as they go on a vacation New York trip, but at the same time, trying not to be Spider-Man when he's outside the country. And this movie was able to do well with that part because Peter Parker, he tries to enjoy his life. He wants to go on a vacation with his friends, and he wants to be with the girl that he likes. And then he's told to go on a mission, which is really the struggle for Peter Parker that was able to be portrayed in this film, which is why sometimes Spider-Man did not make any much appearance in this film, but that's what's great about this film. It's the struggle that Peter is having throughout the movie. Unlike Homecoming, you get to see Peter more on his school side. So comparing to Spider-Man Homecoming, after knowing that Spider-Man has been trying to struggle to save the world while dealing with school, this time it's more of the opposite. He wants to deal with school, but now he has to deal with being Spider-Man after Nick Fury tried to recruit him to save the world. And there are many things to be expected throughout the movie. This movie is full of twists. Now yes, of course, this movie, from the trailers you see that you're going to expect what you're going to see, but this time it turns into illusion, and it's better that I don't spoil the twist, but it's already an illusion that you want to see. And this twist, to me, really surprises me a lot. I mean, from the middle act, the second act of the film, when you see the twist, you already know it's going to happen. The twist, it just really happened. It did it in a great way, and it really changed the film a lot. This movie really changed the film a lot. I was going to like this movie, but to me, when I see this movie going a little bit fast, I feel like, yeah, there could have been more that could be added, but when it comes to the twist, that twist really changes a lot, especially throughout the after credits, which I'm not going to spoil you anything about it. But let's face it, I thought the visuals were great, the way they bring the elementals, and there was some scene where they did the visual in a very futuristic way, and seeing that they do the visuals with the technology, I feel like that part of technology, we get to see that in the future, and it must be used in the future, especially for filmmaking. There are also drama in this movie, and the drama is basically Peter trying to deal with his high school life, especially getting with the girl he likes, but knowing that he has to deal with saving the world, that's also the greatest part of the drama. So I thought that drama really works well. But let's not forget, this movie does not only focus on the drama, but there are more action in this film. I thought the action was overall fine. Seeing the action to me was very big. I thought we get more action just like in the first film, but this second film, it works overall fine, and the second action I thought was still great in this film. Also, the visuals are great in this film. Marvel once again did a great job with the visuals, just like the first film. The technology, the way that they bring the visuals, this time with witches, with magics and all stuff, they did great with this film. Michael Giacchino, who scored my favorite film, once again returned in my favorite hero, and this time he did a great job once again, bringing that Spider-Man Homecoming vibe to the Spider-Man Far From Home, but this time in a more different take. The characters are overall great. Tom Holland is still the best Peter Parker we know and love, and still the favorite Spider-Man that we have right now. Zendaya playing as MJ, I thought she also did great in the film, and she also sparkles up my experience during the VA trip. No joke. Ned Leeds once again returned, and there are great things to expect from Ned Leeds, and he did great in the film, just like the first film, but there was not much of it, but there were many things to expect from him. Nick Fury and Maria Hill, I thought they did a great job making their appearance in the film, especially Jake Gyllenhaal. His performance as Mysterio was very surprising, and there were lots of twists that you can expect with this film. When you know Mysterio is a bad guy, and if you're expecting him to see his villainous act in the film, well, you're gonna get it, but not in the way you want to see it. Overall, I'm really out of words of what to say about Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm gonna say Spider-Man Far From Home is a spectacular sequel that stands out to Spider-Man in the MCU. The movie was overall fine, although it's not as good as the first film, but it's overall an enjoyable film. But consider that Homecoming is still my favorite Spider-Man film from those two. Far From Home is still enjoyable. If you're expecting Spider-Man outside of New York in his own Spider-Man film, then that's the film over there. If you're expecting Spider-Man with more suits, like the stealth suit and the iron suit, well, you're gonna get that here in this film. Right after film, I had to get some Doritos. They're really tasty when it first comes out. When I see Spider-Man on the cover, I had to get this, and I ate it. This was my first time eating Doritos, and I love it. You should probably get this one. It's probably worth a try. But yeah, that was my review on Spider-Man Far From Home. Have you seen it? What you think of the movie? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm sure all of you have seen this movie. But after this review, I'll be actually far from home by next week, which means I'll be going on an actual vacation. And then later, once again, I'll return for The Lion King and also Hobbs and Shaw. But yeah, that was my review on Spider-Man Far From Home. Here's the outro. That is all for this video. If you do enjoy this video, give it a like. That would be very helpful. And in the description, you'll find the link so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. I appreciate you guys for watching this, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.